You're listening to Health Professional Radio. My name is Wayne Buckler, and today my guest joins me from Melbourne in Australia. His name is Michael Kotsakis, and he is the CEO of Acrux. Now, Acrux is a pharmaceutical company. Welcome to the program, Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
My pleasure. Now, Michael, I've read on your website it says you're a drug development company focused on commercialising topical products using its proprietary drug delivery technology. Can you explain to us what it is you do and what your geographical footprint is?
Sure. So we take existing drugs, reformulate them, and work out how they can be applied on the skin to penetrate into or through the skin to satisfy various medical conditions. And we have 3 different products that are approved. Our main market is actually the United States, although some of our products are sold in Europe and Australia as well. And our key product is Axiron, which is a testosterone replacement therapy for men with low testosterone due to certain medical conditions. And that's mainly sold in the US, but also sold in about 5 or 6 other countries around the world.
Okay, and it's applied to the skin?
Yeah, it's applied actually under the arms, under the armpit. Axiron is applied under the armpit. We have an estrogen spray as well, which is applied not under the arm, but in a different part of the body. But they're all topical, or what we call transdermal medicines. So they're applied onto the skin, and they're absorbed and have a therapeutic effect on the basis of the absorption through the skin.
I see. And you say you do a lot of business in the US, but in fact you're global.
Well, we are global. Axiron is sold in 6 countries around the world, including Korea, Brazil, Germany, US and Australia. Our estrogen product is sold in the US and has just recently been launched in Europe in its first 3 countries, but we expect that to be rolled out across the European Union. I think it has over 20 approvals, national approvals now in Europe. And that'll continue to grow around the world. So we look at markets outside Australia as well as the local market. Obviously, Australia is a fairly small country. The biggest market we have is the US for both of our major products, actually.
Michael, that's an impressive story, but I understand you've also been recently recognised as one of the top 25 firms through the academic sector. Can you tell us a little bit about that recognition?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting story. Acrux was originally formed as a company in 1998, so we've been around some time. We floated on the Australian Stock Exchange in 2004, but originally the intellectual property or the patents came out of Monash University. Some researchers discovered that if you apply actually there were sunscreens, so if you apply certain sunscreens to the skin, it will enhance the absorption of some drugs, and that was how our original company was formed, around the basis of intellectual property and patents granted for penetration enhancement of drugs applied to the skin. I
see. And what's the recognition you've received recently?
We were nominated as one of the top 25 R&D spin-offs in a publication recently, and it's nice to receive the awards, but it's even nicer to know that our products are actually approved and commercialised in the major markets of the world, and our lead product has been used by well over 1 million American men, actually. That's,
as you say, high praise indeed to have 1 million users.
Indeed.
Now, Michael, most of our audience are clinicians of one kind or another. Is there a takeaway message for them today that you'd like them to get as a result of having heard you on Health Professional Radio?
Well, certainly we're not resting on our laurels. We continue to look at what products we can develop and formulate, and our R&D group is very busy looking at a range of products actually to formulate into a transdermal, or what we call topical, application of drugs. There's a number of very interesting projects we're working on. We're looking at fungal infections of the nail bed, onychomycosis, where current topical applications are not very effective actually, even though some of them require a year of treatment. We believe we can improve the currently available treatments available. And we're also looking at a range of generic products as well. We think some of the topical products in the US in particular are quite expensive. We believe we can provide more cost-effective alternatives for patients in the major markets, particularly in the US, of some of the products. So I would say, we're a company working hard to develop additional products, not just resting on the laurels of the 3 commercialised products we have available today.
You're listening to Health Professional Radio with Wayne Buckler, and my guest today is Michael Kotsakis. Michael's the CEO of Acrux, a pharmaceutical company, and is talking to us from Melbourne in Australia. Michael, in every industry and every occupation there are misconceptions. What's the biggest misconception about what you do amongst your customers, clients, patients that drives you nuts and keeps you awake at night?
Yeah, it's a good question, because often the biotech sector is considered a sector with some risk around it. Certainly not every product that is developed in this sector is commercialised. In fact, a very low proportion of products that are developed are ever commercialised in the pharmaceutical sector. So the biggest misconception we try and address is that not all product development has the same risk profile. We look at existing drugs and think about how we can reformulate them for a better result for the patient. And that's quite a different risk profile to discovering new molecules and trying to bring them through the safety and efficacy trials required to bring a product to the market. So I think the biggest misconception is that biotech does have some risks. I guess any industry has its risks. Biotech certainly does in terms of development failures, but our product concept and our technology has already been approved in a number of cases, and we believe that there's a lower risk in our product development candidates than a number of other discovery types of biotechs that might exist in the marketplace.
Michael, with a little bit of luck today, we can help address some of that misconception amongst our audience. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
They can find us on our website, acrux.com.au, and we have a number of ways you can contact us, either by phone or by email if you wish to find anything more. Our website's quite a comprehensive database of what our current products are and what we're researching and developing for the future as well.
Now, that website is www.acrux.com.au. Michael, it's been a pleasure having you on the air with us this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Wayne. Pleasure.
If you've missed my conversation with Michael Katsakis and you've just joined us, the good news is we have a transcript. We also have an audio archive on both YouTube and SoundCloud, and you can either read or hear what Michael Katsakis, CEO of Acrux, had to say about their drug delivery technologies, both on text and on audio, at www.hpr.fm. That's the Health Professional Radio website. You're listening to Health Professional Radio. It's been a pleasure having you with us. My name is Wayne Buckler.